ท่านอาจารย์ I would like to ask how to handle a strong urge for pleasant feelings, for example, from sexual activities. Um, I try to apply Asubha, but since there is no a particular image of human, it's just a desire to pleasure yourself. It has been quite difficult. How should I handle this kind of problems?
Well, you should stop that urge by reciting a mantra or keep chanting. When you start to have this urge, then you should start reciting the mantra, Bhutto, 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 or you can chant. If you can maintain this, then your urge will be suppressed, but it will be suppressed temporarily, not permanently. You can only suppress it permanently by contemplating on the impermanence of nature of this pleasure, that it just temporarily, and it's like an addiction to drugs or to alcohol or to cigarettes. If you keep doing it, you will never be able to stop it. The only way to stop it is to resist this urge every time by reciting a mantra, by making your mind calm. Once your mind becomes calm, then this urge will disappear. And if you resist this urge continuously, then eventually this urge will disappear. It's like quitting smoking or drinking. Every time you have an urge to drink or to smoke, you must not do it. And if you feel terrible, then you should use a mantra, use the practice of meditation to calm your mind. Once your mind becomes calm, then your urge will disappear, and the bad feeling that arises will also disappear. But you have to know why you have to do this. The reason is that if you want to solve this problem permanently, you must never do what your urge or your desire asks you to do. Because if you keep doing it, it will keep coming back for more. The only way for it not to come back is not to oblige, to resist by doing meditation to calm your mind.
Okay.
If it's a problem with image, if you keep thinking about beautiful images, then you have to use the unpleasant image to counter. But if it's not, has nothing to do with images, it has to do with your desire or your craving for that pleasure, then you have to contemplate on the impermanence of this pleasure, and also the dukkha that you will experience every time you have this urge to have it. So you will be like a drug addict. If you want to overcome your addiction, you just have to resist and not do what your desire or your craving wants you to do. By meditating, by reciting a mantra, until your mind becomes calm. If you keep doing this a few times, then your craving will eventually disappear. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, please take the microphone and speak close to the microphone.
Hello. Thank you very much. I had a question. My question is it possible for one to use metta or other Brahmavihara practices in formal sitting practice in order to improve samadhi? Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
In order to gain result from your meditation, you usually have to use either a mantra or use the breath as your object of concentration. You use Brahma Vihara during the time when you're not sitting, but when you're involved with people. When you get angry at someone, then you should use metta, meaning you should love them instead of hate them. You should forgive them, and then you can then get rid of your anger. So these are used for different situations. If you have anger, you use metta to quench your anger. If you have someone who is in need of your help, then you use karuna, compassion. If you have someone who succeed in life better than you, you should congratulate them. Be happy with their success. Not get jealous or not get hurt by seeing other people advance further than you are. And you use ubekha when they're in a situation which you cannot do anything about. Like someone got sick and they have to endure the pain. No matter what kind of medicine or what kind of help you give them, they still have to endure the pain. Then you just have to use equanimity. You have to remain calm and not be sad by the situation. So this is the different ways of making your mind calm and peaceful. But to have the mind to be completely still, you need to sit and then concentrate on your breath or on a mantra. So we have different objects of concentration or objects of meditation to calm the mind, depending on the circumstances, because the mind can become agitated by various situations, by different things. So you need different way of getting rid of this restlessness and agitation. Okay? Is that all? All right.
ท่านอาจารย์ I remember reading in the scripture of the importance having proper attention, yoniso manasikara, but I don't really get the meaning of it and how does it differ from sati, mindfulness.
Yoniso manasikara means to investigate or to contemplate a certain particular thing or object, such as your body, or whatever action you do, you have to contemplate or investigate to know fully the consequence of what you do. If you study the body, you want to see the body truly at what it is, what makes up the body, for instance. So you have to see all the different parts of the body, like not just the outside that you can see, but you have to go inside also, under the skin. So this way then you can have a total picture of your body. So this is what they mean by namaskara, yoniso. To contemplate, to study something, so you can get a complete picture of the thing that you study. Okay. Like you contemplate the body, there are many aspects of the body that you have to look, to contemplate, to understand. Anicca is one aspect. What does anicca mean? Impermanent, changing. The body keeps changing all the time, from birth to old age, to sickness and death. This is anicca, impermanent. It is dukkha because no one would like to get old, get sick or die. So having a body means having dukkha, having suffering. Anatta, the body doesn't belong to the one who study or contemplate. You who look at the body is not the body. You are the mind, the one who contemplate, the one who come and take possession of the body, and the one who will have to lose the body when the body eventually return to its origin. The origin of the body is the four elements. The body comes from the four elements, made up by the four elements. The elements of earth, water, fire, and wind. So this is the study of the body, yoniso manasikara. You have to see the body in a complete picture, not just anyone, not the way we look at the body. We tend to look at the body as permanent, look at the body as giving us happiness, look at the body as being us, being me, being I, being mine. This is not right contemplation. It's a wrong contemplation, wrong view, wrong understanding. So you do yoniso manasikara to achieve sammaทิฏฐิ, right understanding, right view. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Ajahn, I would like to ask what is meant by spiritual friends or Kalyanamitta when the Buddha refers to it and its role in our practice.
Can you speak louder?
Ajahn, I would like to ask what is meant by spiritual friends or Kalyanamitta and its role in our practice.
Well, spiritual friends mean people who speak the same language as you. People who like to spiritual practices. People who like to go to temples. People who like to go take meditation courses. People who like to keep the precept. People who like to give dana, charity. People who like to listen to Dhamma talks. These are spiritual friends. They will help you, because if you meet other people who are not spiritually inclined, then they will instead try to lead you to the other direction. Like if you have friends who like to go on holiday, go to entertainment, then they will try to pull you in their direction. But if you have spiritual friends, then they will pull you toward the spiritual direction. So this is what is meant by having spiritual friends. Friends who will support, guide, and drive you toward the spiritual fulfillment, such as the Buddha, such as the Sangha. These are your spiritual friends. So you should seek their company. Don't seek the company of other people, like your friends in the world who still like to find happiness from going on holiday or going to entertainment venues. These are not your spiritual friend. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
ครับคำถามจากชาวต่างชาติสตีเฟนลี is there such a thing as a block karma for a person whenever he wants to do some good deeds, and what's blocked?
There's no such thing as block karma, but there are instances or circumstances that can block, that stop you from doing something, which the Buddha said are just incidents or occurrence, phenomena, which can sometimes stop you from doing something or achieving something. But it's not karma.
ท่านอาจารย์ lately after I talk, whether it's small talk or conversation, I almost always feel bad afterwards, thinking that say something that I shouldn't supposed to say. I would like to ask, how should we practice right speech?
Right speech is to think before you say. You have to know first what you're gonna say, then decide whether it's good to say it or not. If it's not good, then you should not say it. So you have to have mindfulness, be aware of what you think, because before you can say anything, you have to think first. You think what you want to say, and then you say it out loud. So if you have mindfulness, you will know whether you are going to say something good or bad, right or wrong. If you don't know what's good or bad, right or wrong, then you have to study and find out. Basically, the right speech consists of four what you call four character, or four. One is to speak the truth. Second, to speak only thing that is beneficial in terms of information or knowledge. Don't speak things that is not beneficial or profitable. Third, you should speak kind words or nice words. And you don't want to speak foul words like cursing. Then the fourth, you should speak in a way that will make people love each other, not inciting hatred among other people. So this is basically the four kind of right speech. If you cannot speak the truth, it's better just to don't say anything. If you cannot speak anything beneficial, the same thing, better just shut up. If you cannot speak kind or nice words, just shut up, don't say it. And if you cannot speak in a way that will make people love each other, then don't say it. If what you say will make people hate each other, then you should not say it. So this is basically the four ways of right speech. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
But you have to be mindful. You have to know what you think, because what you're gonna say comes from your thoughts. So if you know you're thinking of saying something bad, then you should stop. If you're saying something not truthful, then you should not say it. Okay.
Can I ask another question? While talking, is it possible to remain mindful? Because I try to recite the mantra. It's like interjecting.
You have to stop using the mantra when you talk. You have to watch what you're gonna say. See? Focus on your thought instead of focusing your mantra, because you're having to use your thought. So you want to just keep watching the thought, that it doesn't go off the right speech track. Keep it stay on the right speech track.
Okay.
You don't need the mantra when you talk. If you talk and you recite the mantra, you won't know what you're talking about. And you won't be listening to what people say. So when you talk, you have conversation, you have to have mindfulness on either listening to. When you're not talking, then you have to be mindful of what you are listening. And when you talk, you have to be mindful of what you're about to say.
Okay.
Okay.
ท่านอาจารย์ what kind of effort is meant in samavayama, right effort, and what kind of energy is meant in virya?
It's the same thing, effort or virya or energy. is to exert in your practice. And the Buddha said you should exert in 4 directions. The first direction is to develop the Dhamma that you haven't have yet, such as Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Develop the Dhamma that you haven't have. Second, once you have developed the Dhamma that you have developed, the second direction is to protect the Dhamma that you have developed, not to let it disappear. Okay. The third one is the third direction is to get rid of your defilements that you still have in your mind, such as greed, hate, and delusion. The third one is to exert to. The fourth one is to protect the defilement that you have already eliminated, not to return to your heart, to your mind. So this is what is meant by right effort. To build Dhamma that you haven't had, and then to protect the Dhamma that you have developed to remain with you. Then to get rid of your defilements. And then to prevent the refinement that you have got rid of, not to return. So this is what it means by right effort. Samma vayamo.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Thank you. What is your question today?
Ajahn, I would like to ask what kind of faith we should have to support our practice.
What kind of faith?
Yes.
Okay.
Sada.
You have to have faith in the Buddha, in the teaching of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and faith in the teaching of the noble disciple. They are the people who know the way to the end of suffering, to the end of birth, aging, sickness, and death. So you have to trust them, believe in them, believe that they are the one who knows the path to the cessation of all kinds of suffering. So you should study only their teaching. You should not follow the teaching of other teachers. If they contradict with the teaching of the Buddha or the Dhamma or the Sangha, you can still follow the teaching of other teachers if they don't contradict the teaching of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Now you can still follow the teaching of your parents, teaching of your school teachers, but the knowledge is not as good as the knowledge of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. The knowledge of other teachers usually deal with the living, looking after of your body, but they cannot teach you how to deal with your mental suffering. Only the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha will be able to teach you how to get rid of all your mental suffering. So if you want to be free of mental suffering, then you have to listen to the Buddha, listen to his Dhamma teaching, and listen to the teaching of his noble disciples. So this is the kind of faith you should have. Complete faith, no doubt in whatever the Buddha teaches. Everything the Buddha teaches is good for you, beneficial for you, not harmful to you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Enough for today, huh? Okay.
Question from Mr. Jason Neo. Luang Po, please share the difference of shaving head for Sangha and spiritual learning for Lirsi or hermit in keeping his hair long.
The first question, what did he say?
Please share the difference of shaving the head for Sangha as opposed to spiritual learning for the Lirsi for keeping long hair.
Okay. Well, shaving the head, the hair of the head, has many reasons. The one reason I can think of right now is it takes care of your hair problem. You don't have to worry about looking after your hair. If you have long hair, you will have to have a comb, you have to have shampoo, yeah, and you have to have whatever things to take care of your hair. So it's a burden in the first place for people who wants to concentrate on meditation. So it's better just to have no hair. Yeah. Secondly, it's a form of getting rid of your attachment to your body. We are attached to the beauty of the body. We want to have a body look beautiful, look good. This is defilement or delusion, because according to an enlightened person like the Buddha, the body is just it's not you, not yourself. The body is your servant, someone who will serve you. You use the body to take you to places you want to go. You use the body to see things you want to see, hear things you want to hear. So you shouldn't have to pay attention to your body so much. Paying attention to your body is like paying attention to your servant, and it will only make you worry and not feeling good when you see the body not good looking. Like when your hair start to turn white, then you'll feel bad because you don't want your hair, the body to turn white. You want to look young and beautiful or handsome. So this is another way of getting rid of the mental anxiety or problem. It's not to have any hair, and also to destroy the perception of beauty, because this can make you become attached to your body. And when your body starts to become old, get sick, and it can no longer become beautiful, then it can make you feel sad. So this is a way of letting go of your attachment to your body. If you can let go of your attachment to the body, then whatever happens to the body will not make you feel sad or worrisome. So this is the reason why it's better not to have hair than to have hair.
Then Ajahn, I would like to ask how to do standing meditation properly.
Meditation, the proper way to meditate regardless of your position is to have mindfulness. Either you can recite a mantra to have mindfulness, or you can watch the action of your body. If you're standing, just observe that your body is standing. And if your mind still cannot stop thinking, then you have to use a mantra. Or if you can watch your breath, you can use your breath as your object of mindfulness. Watch your breath while you stand, or you recite a mantra, just like sitting. The difference is in the position of the body. But as far as the mind concerned, the mind still has to do the same thing, is to keep being mindful. So that's regardless of whether you sit or stand or walk, you still have to maintain mindfulness by any method that you can use, that you are used to. You can use a mantra, or you can watch. If you're walking, then you can watch the feet. When you move your right foot or left foot, then you just keep reciting left or right. The purpose is to stop your mind from thinking. So you have to have something for the mind to do in order for it not to go think about other thing. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Alright.
สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์
Yes, go ahead.
I have a question about during my meditation I feel very calm and peaceful already, but there is no topic for contemplation. What should I continue?
See, when you meditate, the goal in meditation is to calm your mind, not to study any topic. Meditation is for the purpose of stopping your mind from thinking. You want to rest your mind. You want to have peace and happiness. So when you meditate, you don't have to think about anything. You want to make your mind calm and peaceful. Only when after you come out of your meditation, then you can start investigating anything you like to investigate, to see them as they are, such as your body, for instance. You have to investigate in the light of the three characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta. You only do this when you come out of your meditation. When you meditate, you don't do any study, any investigation. Meditation is for the purpose of strengthening your mind. Give the mind the strength to investigate. If you don't have calm mind, then your mind will be restless and agitated, and you will not concentrate on investigating the truth. So first you need to calm your mind. Once your mind is calm, try to stay in meditation for as long as possible. The longer you stay, the calmer your mind will be, the stronger your mind will be. So when you come out of meditation, then you can use the strong mind to study the truth of everything that you are involved with, everything that you have, that you know, you're in contact with or you possess. They are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. So you have to teach your mind this truth, that everything you have, one day, sooner or later, you will have to lose them. Because you cannot control them. You cannot tell them to belong to you all the time. If you don't want to be sad when you have separation, then you have to let go of your attachment to them. So this is the purpose of investigation. Everything that you attach to, you have to teach your mind to let go. If you don't let go, when you have to separate, you will find it very miserable. If you don't want to be miserable, then you have to let go. You can only let go if you see them as anicca, dukkha, anatta. If you still see them as nicca, sukkha, atta, then you will not be able to let go. If you still think that they can give you happiness and will always give you happiness, and if you think that they will stay with you all the time, then you will not be able to let go. Because that is not the truth. That's a delusion your mind creates to delude you, to think that everything is permanent, everything will always give you happiness. Everything will always belong to you, be with you. But in truth, if you study the truth, you'll see that everything can leave you anytime, anywhere, without letting you know in advance. So if you cling to them, when they leave you, you'll become sad. But if you know that you're going to have to lose them and you let go of your attachment, when they leave you, then you will not feel sad. So this is what you have to study or investigate, to teach your mind the truth. Right now you don't see the truth. You see the delusion created by your own mind, that everything is good, everything is permanent, everything will always be with you, everything will give you happiness. So you become attached to them. And when they have to leave you, then you become sad. If you don't want to become sad, you have to investigate, study their nature to see that they are impermanent, that they will make you sad when they leave you. So when you know this, then you then change your attitude towards things. Instead of having attachment, you will let go. You can still live with them, you still can have them, but you must be ready to let them go when the time comes. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right.
Then Ajahn, is letting ourselves to take a nap harmful for our practice?
It depends on whether your body needs it or not. If your body doesn't need and you want to take a nap, then this is your defilement. So you must resist. So you have to see how much your body needs to sleep. Once you have enough sleep and you want to sleep more, then this is defilement. Okay. You'll find out. If you really feel sleepy and you cannot resist it, then it's your body who needs the sleepiness. Then you can sleep. But you don't feel sleepy but you want to take a nap, then this is your defilement.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you shouldn't do what your defilement wants you to do. You do what the body needs to do. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Normally you only need about 5 hours sleep a night, and maybe 1 hour sleep during the day as a nap. 6 hours will be enough to give the body enough time to rest. Okay. Anything more than that, then is your defilement.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Ajahn, I would like to ask how to overcome tendency to be envious towards others.
To be what?
Envious.
Envious. I just talked in the talk just now. You have to develop mudita. Mudita means to have joy in other people's advances or progress. When you see your friends or people you don't know, they have achieved something, or they become richer, or they become better in whichever way, you should be happy with their achievement. Because you have to look at the truth. The truth is, we people are different. We can achieve differently, and we can achieve slowly or quickly. So this is something we cannot dictate, that you should achieve more than other people. The tendency is we always think of ourselves and we want to achieve. And when somebody else achieves more than you, then you become envious or jealous. So you have to look at the fact, at the truth, that people, everybody have their own ability. Some can achieve quickly and some can achieve slowly. Some can achieve and some cannot achieve. So it's not for you to go become envious of other people. You should come back and look at yourself and see, why are you not achieving? And if you're not achieving, then you should fix it. Don't try to go fix other people, make other people not achieving in order to bring them back to your level. So try to look at yourself and don't look at other people. If other people achieve, if other people advance, just congratulate them. Be happy with their achievement. If not, then you will feel bad every time you see somebody else achieve better than you, do better than you. because you have to look at that each individual has different capacity, have different ability to do things. Yeah. So if they can do it, it's their business. You know, it, it has nothing to do with you. You know, you have to tell yourself that whatever people do, whether how much they achieve, it's their business, not your business to give them scores or to criticize them. You know. So this is basically what you should do. If you see people have happiness, have advancement in their life, you should be happy with them. Okay. Is that enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you bring the microphone back to Olivia? Bonjour, Olivia, from Paris.
Bonjour Tanajan. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you is the last month I tried to focus a lot on my mindfulness in daily time. And I notice when I am mindful, I have only a good thinking. But when I am not mindful, it's most of the time, my thinking sometimes is good, sometimes is not good. So it means when we are mindful, we always have good thinking.
When you are mindful, you are controlling your thoughts and your emotion. So the bad emotion and bad thought cannot arise when you have mindfulness. But when you are not mindful, then you open the door for your bad emotions and your bad thoughts to arise. That's it. So it's simple. Yeah. Mindfulness is the controlling of your thoughts and your emotion to stop your bad thoughts and bad emotion. Then you can think in the good thoughts. Yeah.
Another question is somebody asked me a few days ago, who receive the result of our action? It is a 5 aggregate.
No, it's the mind who does the action and receive the result from the action. The mind is the one who tells the body, the 5 aggregates, to do what the mind wants to do. See, the 5 aggregates are like servants, but the master is the mind.
But it's not mean in the 5 aggregate, it's not mean also it's a mind?
The 4 aggregates belong to the mind. The 5th one is the body. Yes.
So we can say the 5 aggregate or the mind, the same thing, no?
No.
No.
The mind is the one who knows, the one who directs the 5 aggregates to do things. Like the mind tells the body to come to Thailand. First, the mind has to have the desire to come to Thailand. When the mind has the desire to come to Thailand, then the mind tells sankhara, the thought, to prepare for the trip, to go get passports, to buy tickets. And when the time comes, you have the passport, you have the ticket, then the mind tells the body to get on the plane and come here. See. So the mind is the one, the master, like the puppet master. But you don't see the puppet master. You only see the puppet. See, you see the body, because the body is like a puppet. It takes direction from the mind through the four mental aggregate. Vedana, sanya, sankhara, vinyana, especially sankhara, the thoughts. The thought that you've been controlling with your mindfulness. You want to control this thought because this thought tend to go in the way of emotion and causing you problem later on. So you want to stop these thoughts and try to direct it to go toward the non-emotion thoughts. So the mind is the one who tells the aggregate what to do, and then once it's done, the mind is the one who receives the result, happiness or sadness. If the mind tells the fire aggregate to go steal some money. When you finish stealing, the mind can feel bad afterwards. If you don't steal, then you don't feel bad. If you lie, then you feel bad after you having done that. The mind is the one who does the action and receives the result from the action. While the aggregates are what you call accessory, they might also receive the consequence of the action. Like if you steal money, they cannot catch your mind, so they catch the body instead and put the body in jail. But at the same time, when the body is locked in jail, the mind is also locked up with the body. So the one who really pay for the action is the mind. Even if the mind isn't, if the body isn't caught, isn't put locked up in jail, the mind can still feel bad. The mind can still worry that somebody might know, somebody might come and catch the body later on. So whatever the mind does, the mind is the real culprit, the real one who received the action, received the consequence of the mind's action.
And the last question for today. In which moment of my practice of samadhi can I start practice vipassana? And how can I do it?
See, practice of samadhi and vipassana are like body. The body needs rest. When you rest, you don't work, right? When you're working for 8 hours at the office, then you go home and go to eat, go to take a bath, and rest, sleep, or maybe watch some TV or do something to entertain the mind. This is samadhi for the mind. When you enter into samadhi, you are resting the mind. When you are resting the mind, you don't do any work. You wait after the mind has come out of samadhi. When the mind can no longer sit in samadhi, then when you start to think, then if you want to let the mind work profitably, then you have to direct the mind to think according to the way the Buddha wants the mind to think. It's to think that everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Try to study anicca, dukkha, anatta in everything that you come into contact with. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. This to teach the mind to know what is harmful to the mind. They are anicca, dukkha, anatta. Dukkha means harmful to the mind. So when you know it's harmful, then you don't want to have anything to do with those things. But you don't know. People who never heard of the Buddha's teaching will think that everything, not everything, but things that they see, they hear, they see them as good or bad for them. But according to the Buddha, they are all bad. But we don't see them bad because they can still give us some happiness, so we see them as good. But if they hurt us, then we can see them as bad. But the Buddha go further than that. The Buddha said either good or bad will hurt you later on anyway, because when it's good, it don't last. See, when it don't last, when it disappears, then it will hurt you later on. So everything that you see here, they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. They are anicca, they are impermanent. And dukkha means they will hurt you. Anatta, you cannot prevent them from hurting you. You cannot prevent them from disappearing. So this is the way to teach your mind to let go of everything, not to seek happiness or refuge in anything in this world, because they are not true refuge. They are temporary refuge. So it's better to have permanent refuge, and that is the refuge you get from practicing samadhi. When you practice samadhi, when you meditate, when you get into the samadhi, then your mind will be peaceful and happy, without any bad feeling arise. So this is where we should take refuge inside the mind, not outside of the mind.
But for example, if we, during the meditation, if we have some feeling, physical feeling, I mean, we hurt us, and we say to ourselves, okay, I know I have feeling now, but this feeling will pass. I don't know when, but one moment will pass. Does it mean we practice vipassana?
Yes, but very superficial vipassana, and not what you call comprehensive vipassana. Comprehensive vipassana can only be achieved after you have developed samadhi first. And when you have samadhi, then you will have the strength to let go or get rid of the cause of your suffering, your bad feeling. Your cause of your bad feelings arise from your cravings or your desire. This you can only get rid of with the mind that has strong samadhi. So when you're still practicing samadhi and then you have some bad feeling arise, then you get distracted from your meditation, and you come and deal with the bad feeling that arise. This is just a way of getting rid of your distraction. It's not real vipassana. It's the superficial vipassana, because this feeling will come back again eventually. So you have to first try to develop samadhi. When you develop samadhi, you should concentrate on your meditation object only. Don't be distracted by any other things that might come up. Try to ignore everything and concentrate on your meditation object only, until the mind can enter into peace and happiness. Once you get there, then you can use this peace and happiness to be the basis of your vipassana practice, because you need a happy mind to be able to see the truth of everything, that they are anicca, dukkha, anatta. When you see them as anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you will get rid of your cravings for them. When you have no cravings for them, then you will have no suffering. See, this is more comprehensive. You get rid of the desire entirely with the mind, with a mind that has samadhi and a mind that has wisdom. You need two things to be able to root out all your cravings.
But now, sometimes when I have during the daytime, out of my meditation, sometimes if I have somebody, I have some problem with some people or anything, I say to myself, okay, it's impermanent. Don't have to shoot at him, don't have to make problem with him, because it's impermanent, he will change, maybe in a few minutes. And it's helped me a lot. I don't know if it's vipassana or not, but it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, but you can never enter into samadhi yet. So you can only deal with the superficial problems. When you get into the meaty problem, you will not be able to deal with. When you really see, when you are losing something that you love, you cannot stop your mind from being sad. So you need to go deeper. Your mind has to go deeper in order to be able to dig out the cravings that has been embedded in your mind. Here you just like, if comparing the craving like a tree, you're only cutting out the branches. You're not cutting the tree or uprooting the roots. Mm-hmm. And this you need to have samadhi first, and then you can then uproot the roots of your cravings. So if if you have never yet come to samadhi, you will never be able to use vipassana fully. Yeah. So you'll be just sort of have a superficial type of vipassana, which your problem will keep coming back again and again. Yeah. But if you can uproot the root of your cravings, then no cravings will come back. No craving will come and create any problem for your mind anymore. So this is the problem with people when they study too much. They got confused. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where to start. So they get like they do get everything, whatever comes to them. When they sit in meditation, the goal is to calm the mind. But when the mind is being distracted by something, then they follow that thing and deal with that thing. So they never get to the goal of meditation, is to completely stop the mind from acting, from mental action. See, so if you can never get down to the deepest part of the mind, you would not be able to uproot the cravings which are embedded in the deepest part of your mind. So this is the problem with people nowadays. They study the whole process, and they don't know where to start. So they just pick the part that they like and do it, and they get some result, and they thought this is it, but they only get just partial result. Like cutting branches of a tree, cutting the leaves of a tree, and they say, "Oh, I have cut the tree." Now, if you in a few days later, the leaves come out again, the branches come out again, because you don't go to the root. You have to uproot the root. To uproot the roots of your cravings, you need to have samadhi first, a mind that is fully concentrated, the mind that is one. Merely know, peaceful and happy. Once you have this kind of condition develop in your mind, then it has a strong ability to uproot all the cravings. The craving that is really strong, not just this, superficial cravings about people here and there, but about yourself, your life, your body. Can you get rid of your sadness from getting old, getting sick, or die? This is much more important to deal with. But people who go to study in meditation retreat, they only taught the elementary, and they thought this is already the goal. So, and they don't do it completely of each step. They do a little bit of each step, and they think they already have become enlightened. But it's just superficial enlightenment. In order to achieve full enlightenment, complete enlightenment, you have to complete each step 100%. Like the Buddha said, dana, charity, it means you have to give up all your wealth and go become a monk. See, once you become a monk, then you can have the full time to concentrate on keeping your morality, keeping the precepts. Then you will have all the time to develop mindfulness, to get your mind into complete samadhi. Once you have complete samadhi, then you can then root out all your cravings, your attachment to your body, your life. So this is something that you need to do fully of each step. If you just do a little bit of each step, you give some money for charity, you keep the 5 precepts, and you have 1 or 2 hours to do meditation, and then you contemplate on anicca, dukkha, anatta, and you say, "Oh, I have no attachment anymore." It's just your thoughts. You haven't faced the truth yet. You haven't come to losing something you love yet. When you lose something you love, then you'll see what happens. If you're fully enlightened, you will not be hurt. You will just smile and you say, so what? That's life. Whenever there is gain, there will be loss. Can you accept losses? You still want gain or not? If you still want gain and you don't want losses, then you're still not enlightened. You must do the opposite. You don't want any gain, and you're not afraid of losing whatever you have. Then this is when you become enlightened.
Does it mean you have to become a monk to be enlightened?
Well, that's the best way. That's the easiest way. Like when you want your PhD, what do? You go to college, you go to university, right? You don't study at home. You don't work and study at the same time to get your PhD. Same thing with enlightenment. If you want to become enlightened, you become a monk, because that's where where people achieve their enlightenment. 99% of people who become enlightened, they are all monks. Only 1% are lay people, which are special cases, exceptional case. Otherwise, 99% are all monks. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Ajahn, I would like to ask how to cultivate humility in ourselves.
Humility, the way to cultivate is to lower yourself down to the bottom. Treat yourself like a servant. Consider yourself like a servant. Like the Buddha said, make yourself like the ground, the earth, that everybody can step on. So try to think of yourself as the floor, the ground that people step on. People can do anything with the ground. They can piss on it. They can do anything with the ground, and the ground would not feel bad. So you should think of yourself as the lowest level of human, like a beggar. Then you will feel that you will not feel bad if anybody treats you any way, because the worst they can treat you is just to treat you like a beggar or a prisoner or a servant. Can you do that?
I'll try.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like when you stay with the monk, you behave like a servant to the monks. Monks tell you what to do. You help the monk. When the monk go on arms round, you help to carry the food. So this is like acting humility. If you're not humble, then you say, "Oh, I cannot do this. I have to stay at the temple and wait for the monks to come back and bring me the food for me." Then that's not humble, not being humility, not being humble. So try to think of yourself as a servant, as a prisoner, as a beggar, the lowest form of human existence. Then you will always be humble that way. Don't think of yourself as smart, intelligent, rich, or able. Then you become deluded, and you will not be humble that way.
Okay.
Being humble is good because it's a one way of preventing yourself from getting humiliated. Because no one can humiliate you because you already humiliated yourself first. Yeah. Okay?
Okay.
You won't feel bad if anybody mistreat you, because you won't expect anything from anybody to treat you any better than you treat yourself already. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You have any question? Okay. So
ท่านอาจารย์ my first question is, I find it is rather difficult to maintain mindfulness when doing daily activities, and even more so when I start to deal with things and people. So how to overcome that?
Well, just have to remind yourself to be mindful. Be mindful. When you do anything, if you cannot be mindful with what you do, then you should use a mantra first. Keep reciting a mantra. Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Whatever you do, just keep reciting a mantra. Then you will prevent the mind from go thinking about other things. And if your mindfulness becomes stronger, then you can stop using the mantra. Then you can just focus on what you do. If you cannot yet focus on what you do, then you have to use something to pull your mind back, not letting your mind to go away from where you are, what you do from what you do. So you use a mantra when you cannot focus on what you do. Just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto as you do what you do. And eventually when your mind doesn't go away to any places other than where you are, then you can stop using the mantra. Okay?
Okay. My next question is, I would like to ask what are the factors that will determine whether someone can attain enlightenment in this very lifetime?
What factors? What?
That will affect someone's enlightenment in this very lifetime.
I think there's a sutta that says the factor of enlightenment, and I think there are 7 of them. I cannot remember them all, but I think they have mindfulness, they have ubekkha, or something like. You have to look up in the text. But basically you need to have mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom. These are the factors that will make you become enlightened. You have to first develop samadhi. Once you have samadhi, before you have samadhi, you need to develop mindfulness. Without mindfulness, you cannot have samadhi. Once you have samadhi, then you will have the strength of mind to contemplate on the truth of existence. Once you see the truth of existence, then you can let go of your craving and your attachment to existence. Because existence is dukkha, is suffering. When you are born, you are subjected to all forms of many different kinds of suffering. You suffer because you have to survive. You suffer when you get old, you get sick and die. You suffer when you lose your loved ones, when you're separated from the things you love. You suffer when you have to face the things that you don't like to face. So if you want to not to have to face this suffering, then it's to stop birth. And in order to stop birth, you need to stop the cause of birth. The cause of birth is your cravings or your desire. Cravings for sensual pleasure or sensual gratification, craving for being, and craving for not being. So these are the 3 desires or cravings that you have to get rid. And to get rid of this, you need the sila, samadhi, and panya, morality, samadhi, and wisdom. So you have to keep practicing these 3 things. Keep the precept, maintain the precept, develop mindfulness to develop samadhi. Once you have samadhi, then you can develop wisdom. Once you have wisdom, you become enlightened. You see that the cause of your suffering is your desire, your cravings. And if when you know that, then you just stop your cravings. Once you stop, you have no cravings, then there will be no birth, no aging, sickness, and death. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Can you send the microphone to our next one? Bonjour.
Bonjour, Ajahn. I have only one question today. If someone make me angry, what I have to do with this anger? do I have to try to change this anger, or do I have just to observe it, or do I have to rid of it?
Anyway you can do it anywhere you can. But if you don't know how, the Buddha said there are several ways. The first way is to radiate metta, to have metta toward that person. Metta means love or kindness toward that person. The way to show kindness is to forgive that person. So you need to forgive. Avera hontu. The first way of showing metta is avera hontu, not to pursue any revenge upon that person. Forgive that person. And in order to be able to forgive, you have to look at that person like a baby. If you look at a person like a baby, like a infant, then you don't get angry at babies or infants, because they don't know what they are doing. The same person is infant in the mind. Even the body might be an old person, but the mind can still be an infant. If the person did something wrong toward other people, it means that the mind is like an infant. Because if the mind is a grow up mind, then the mind will know what to do, not to do. So this is one way of stop your anger. Just look at the person who makes you angry like an infant. Then you can forgive that person. The second way is to look at the cause of your anger. The cause of your anger is your own desire. The desire not to have somebody do something to you. When a person do something to you that you don't want them to do, then you get angry. So you should stop this desire. Just make your mind neutral. Let your mind have no desire and accept anything that anybody would want to do to you. That if you can do this, then you will never get angry with anybody. Or you have to stop your desire from wanting somebody to do something for you. Because when you want them to do something and they don't do it, you can get angry at them too. So these are desire also. If you can get rid of this desire and take things as they come, you will never get angry. The reason why we get angry usually because we want something, and when we don't get what we want, we get angry. Or we don't want to face something, and when we have to face that thing, we get angry. So stop your desire. This is the ultimate way of getting rid of your anger.
Yeah, but to stop our desire, we have to be mindful.
Right, you need mindfulness, you need wisdom, you need samadhi. So you have developed. This is the ultimate way of getting rid of your anger. See? The noble ones, the fourth highest stage, can get rid of anger. The other three still have some anger in them because they still have some form of desire. Only the Arahants and the Buddha have no anger. Because they don't expect anything from anybody, from anything. They can take things as they come, good or bad. So they never get angry. Or they look at everybody like infants, so they don't expect anything from anybody. Okay? All right.
Thank you. Okay, so I have two questions today. The first one, it's a question about the practice of my meditation. I will explain you how I do every day, and it would be very nice if you can tell me if I do it correctly. First, I check my body position and I relax on it. After that, I focus on my belly. And a few minutes later, I switch on my nostril. Sometimes I can stay like that until I see a bright light coming in my mind. But most of the time, my mind is restless. So I have to recite Buddho, Buddho, Buddho. Or even sometimes it's so restless that I have to count to calm my mind. I want to know if I do it correctly or if something I do wrong. Can you advise for me?
I think you probably do it correctly, but if you don't get any result yet, it means you don't do enough. You have to do more. Sometimes when you count or recite a few minutes and you expect it to become calm. If it doesn't, then you have to keep on doing it until it becomes calm. It's like taking medicine. You don't just take 1 or 2 pills and then expect your illness to disappear. You just keep taking it until your illness disappears. If your mind is restless, not calm, then you just have to keep reciting the mantra until eventually it stops, become peaceful and calm. What you do is alright, correct, but you have to do it until you get the result.
So the second question, it's also during my meditation, I have an internal voice very often. This voice tells me what to do. So do I have to listen to this voice or do not consider it? For example, this voice can tell me, don't think about your family, bring back your focus on your nostril, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do with this voice. It's very strange.
Just ignore it, because you can become distracted. Then you start conversing, talking to your voice. Instead of meditating, you're not meditating. So once you start focusing on your meditation object, keep focusing on that object alone. If anything comes up, just ignore it, disregard. Don't pay attention. Just keep, if you're watching your breath, just keep watching your breath. If you're reciting Putto, just keep reciting Putto.
Yeah, but if this voice is like it brings me back. Like, you know, I try to watch my breath, and sometimes it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think about something, anything, and this voice tell me, "Hey, what you do? Come back to your nostril." You know, it's like a teacher. You know, something like they teach me how to bring back. You know.
Well, that's what you want to do. You want to watch your breath.
Yes, it's what I want to do, but I don't know why this voice has to come and say to me, "Hey, come back," or.
You don't have to know why. You don't have to. As long as you keep watching your breath. If you're not watching your breath, if your voice tells you to watch your breath, then you come back and watch your breath. But if your voice tells you to go think about your family, then what you do?
No.
So it's better not to pay any attention, because sometimes it can distract you.
But I mean, 90% of the
If it's profitable, then okay. If it keeps reminding you to come back to your breath, that's the only thing that you can listen to.
Because it's profitable all the time. Is advice, is good advice. Like so many.
Good advice is not good either, because then you're not meditating. You're listening to the advice. Then your mind never can enter into jhana or samadhi.
So I don't have to listen to its voice.
Just keep coming back to your breath.
Okay.
Only listen to it when it tells you to come back to your breath. Other thing don't listen to. Okay?
Thank you very much.
It's like riding in your car. If you want to go from here to Bangkok, you have to stay in your car. But if you go halfway, somebody on the side of the road wave at you and say, "Come down, have a cup of coffee." What you do? You stop and have coffee with him. Then you start talking with him, and then you forget about going to Bangkok. So you don't get to Bangkok. You want to get to Bangkok, then you just ignore everybody who's trying to distract you. Same way with meditation. If you want your mind to be calm, you have to distract all the things that happen in your mind. Sometimes it can become bright, sometimes it can feel whatever, some feeling may arise, some thought may arise. Just ignore them. Don't pay attention.
And what about the sensation when I see the bright light?
Just ignore it.
I have to ignore it also? I don't have to focus on it?
No. Then you're distracted. You're changing your object of focus from your breath to your light. See? But your light is not, it arises because of your focus on your breath. So when you start focus on your light, then the light will disappear. Then you don't have nothing to focus on. So keep focusing on your breath, regardless of what happened. Don't be distracted. See? The mind will try to distract you to prevent you from becoming calm. Yeah. Okay.
Question from Siddhartha.
Siddhartha, where are you now?
I think he is at the airport.
At the airport. Still watching live.
Yeah, ครับ
Okay.
ครับ The question is how significant is the influence of past karma on our ability to live as a monk in this lifetime?
Past karma can be supporting or can be what you call um, obstructing. If you used to be a monk before in your past life, you'll find it easy to be a monk in this life. If you used to be something else, then you will find being a monk not easy, not as easy. So what you did in the past life is like it becomes part of your habit. So when it becomes a habit, you find it easier to do. When you have to do something that is not your habit, you find it difficult to do. So if you keep doing things like going to the monastery, keeping the precept, learning to meditate, and maybe becoming a monk, then this will accumulate in your habit. In your next life, if you're born again, even if there's no Buddhism, you might still have this desire to go to some place quiet to meditate, to live a life monk. If there's no monastery, no Buddhism, you might become a hermit, become a lushi. Yeah. So this is what will do to your life. Your past karma will be the one of the forces that will guide or push your life. Depends on how strong it is.
Another question from Siddhartha ครับ What if many fortune tellers forecast me that I will not last as a monk and will disrobe afterwards in this lifetime?
You go to the wrong fortune teller. You should go to the Buddha. The Buddha said if you follow his teaching, you can become enlightened in either 7 days, 7 months, or 7 years. Yeah. So you find the wrong fortune teller. Go to the right fortune teller. If you want to become a monk for life, go to the Buddha. Okay. Olivia, you have any more questions? Okay. Today is your last day?
Last day.
Oh, last question. Huh?
Last question.
Okay.
What I will do with YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. So actually, it's two questions, but it's not my question. It's from Facebook. One man ask you, can you explain in detail the 4 jhana?
The fourth jhana.
Yes.
Well, the fourth jhana, when your mind enter into this state of calm, your awareness of the body can be two level. Your awareness of the body entirely disappear. There is no body in your awareness. All you have is the knower, the mind, the consciousness, all alone by itself, and no thoughts. It just resting, but fully aware of the resting of the thoughts, and a sense of ease and peace, and no emotion involved. No love, no hate, no desire, no fear, no delusion. We call ubekha. This is the ubekha of the mind. So this is one type. This is what we call full jhana. Partial jhana is you can still experience being aware of the body. You can still feel the pain of the body. You can still hear the sound. But your mind is not interested, not disturbed, not distracted. Your mind doesn't being hurt by what it feels or hear. The body can be painful, but the mind will just not reacting. The mind just merely know. So this is the 2 type of fourth jhana. But there's no thinking, just observing, just merely knowing.
And the way to arrive to equanimity is to start by practicing anapanasati. Right?
Mindfulness.
any kind of
any
mindfulness.
kind. But when you sit, is if you can use mindfulness of the breath, anapanasati, is probably the best, because that's the way the Buddha taught in the sutta. He said use the anapanasati in the four foundation of mindfulness. He said you should go find a quiet place, sit up, and then concentrate watching your breath in and out. But in Thailand, sometimes we use Bhutto. You can use Bhutto, use a mantra, Bhutto, because there were people who can enter into jhana with this mantra. So we also can use that.
And the second question, this guy asked, how overcome sexual desire? And it is correct to overcome sexual desire for a lay person?
Yes, it's possible. But the best thing is to go away and live alone. Because when you're closer to the sexual objects, it's easier for your sexual desire to come up. So to get rid of your sexual desire, you need so many tools to help you, not just any one particular tool. If you can stay away from sexual objects. Secondly, if you don't eat too much, try to stay hungry, then you'll be thinking about food more than you think about sex. So if you can fast, if you have sexual desire, just keep fasting a few days and your sexual desire will disappear and replaced by your food desire. Thirdly, you need to be able to stop your mind from thinking about these things. You need to develop mindfulness. If you can develop mindfulness, then you can enter into jhana. When you enter into jhana, the mind will become contented, not hungry. So this will be the strength of the mind. But when you come out of jhana, you can still think about sex. So if you want to completely stop thinking about sex, then you have to develop the asubha, the images of the unattractive parts of the body. Keep look at the other side of the body. We are trained to look at the beautiful side, the attractive side, and we are taught to not think about the unattractive side. So we don't see the unattractive part of the body. Now we have to force the mind to look at the unattractive part. Like when the body dies, like there are 10 stages of corpse in the sutta that you can use to contemplate the unpleasantness of the body. Or you can look into the other parts inside the body, under the skin. Besides the skin, beneath the skin, there are still so many different parts that you don't see of the body. The skeleton is under the skin, the bone, the heart, the lungs, the intestines, the liver, the kidneys. All these things are inside the beautiful body. If you can look inside the beautiful body, then you will start to see that it's not so beautiful at all. Just like the saying that say, beauty is skin deep. Once you go under the skin, beauty is gone. So these are the various tools of getting rid of your sexual desire. The most important tool is your commitment and your desire to get rid of it. First you have to have this strong desire of getting rid of your sexual desire. And then you are ready to commit yourself to use all these applicable tools. Then you will be able to do it. But if you want to get rid of it, but you don't want to commit yourself to do these practices, then you will never be able to get rid of it anyway.
But this commitment is not only for monks, it's also for lay people?
Yeah. Monks were lay people before. So when they become committed, then they change their status from being a lay people to become a monk. So everybody had to start as a lay person. Once you become committed, then you want to change your status. Because if your goal is to get rid of your sexual desire, then there's no point to be a lay person. The purpose of being a lay person is to have sex, right? So you don't want to have sex, then you don't have to become a lay person anymore. Then you become a monk. It's quite obvious, isn't it? Okay. But nobody think of it that way. When you first started, you thought, oh, you just want to find some peace and happiness from meditation practice. But once you start to advance, you find that being a lay person will be difficult to achieve your goal. So you will eventually become a monk in order to help you to achieve your goal as quickly as possible. Is that all?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay.
That's all.
There's a saying in English, they say, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. If you have to have your cake, you just have to put it in the icebox and watch it. If you eat it, then you lose all your cake. If you want to get rid of your sexual desire, then you cannot become a lay person.